Have you been curious about how OTF boss Lil Durk is adjusting to life in prison after his detention in Broward County Jail? Fans have been wondering if he's continuing his gang activities, staying low-key, or causing trouble behind bars. Interestingly, a cellmate of Lil Durk recently shared some insight into his behavior in jail. In this video, we'll explore Lil Durk's unexpected actions behind bars after Lil Durk's recent arrest on charges related to a murder-for-hire plot. Many are wondering about his life in prison. According to jail records, the 32-year-old rapper, whose real name is Durk Banks, was booked into Broward County Jail after the U.S. District Attorney in Los Angeles filed an indictment against him. The indictment charged Durk and 5 other members of OTF with conspiracy to commit murder for hire, resulting in death, and the use of a machine gun, also leading to death. Despite the serious charges, it seemed, according to TMZ, an insider revealed that the rapper is super charming and has accepted his situation. However, like many others in prison, he has an issue with the food. Food is a common complaint among inmates, as it's far from the luxurious meals they're used to on the outside. An anonymous ex-inmate described they serve bread, jelly, and milk, sometimes a muffin. It's odd that they don't serve eggs for breakfast, but they do have egg salad for lunch. If you're part of a gang, you may get extra treats like an extra chicken breast or skim milk. Another inmate from San Quentin State Prison also shared his opinion on the food, saying, "Prison food is the opposite of my mother's cooking. Cooking here lacks any aroma, and the food tastes incredibly bland. One thing's for sure, when I get out of here, I won't be eating beans again. Sometimes, they serve us beans for both breakfast and dinner, but as for bread, fresh loaves don't make it to prison. It's not soft, but it's not completely hard either. Occasionally, the end piece ends up on the tray as an extra." Beyond the food, Lil Durk has maintained calm behavior among inmates at Broward County Jail. This facility is infamous for housing some of America's most notorious criminals. For instance, Yenwi Melly has been held there for the past 5 years. Despite his tough image, he's reportedly not having a good time. An ex-inmate who recently got out shared some insights, revealing that Yenwi Melly is kept in the main jail, where high-profile cases are housed, on the 8th floor. According to reports, he faces harsh treatment, such as being denied phone access and limited TV time. Prison is truly a tough place, capable of crushing your dreams and career in an instant. Regardless of who you are outside, you must stay in line, especially in a place like Broward County Jail, known for its harsh conditions and inmates struggling with mental health issues. Ex-inmates have described it as filthy, with deputies mistreating and disrespect. While the jail's conditions are undeniably bad, some people try to remain pragmatic. One user noted, "It's jail, not the Hilton," sharing their own experience and a moment of kindness from a deputy who helped them with a drink when they felt unwell. Still, others emphasize the mistreatment, like being held for hours after release, and only let out in the early hours of the morning. Cooking here lacks any aroma, and the food tastes incredibly bland. One thing's for sure, when I get out of here, I won't be eating beans again. Sometimes, they serve us beans for both breakfast and dinner, but they're often dry and hard. I like beans, not rocks. The eggs are always cold, and you have to watch out for bits of eggshell. As for bread, fresh loaves don't make it to prison. It's not soft, but it's not completely hard either. Occasionally, the end piece ends up on the tray as an extra. Beyond the food, Lil Durk has maintained calm behavior among inmates at Broward County Jail. This facility is infamous for housing some of America's most notorious criminals. For instance, Yenwi Melly has been held there for the past 5 years. Despite his tough image, he's reportedly not having a good time. An ex-inmate who recently got out shared some insights, revealing that Yenwi Melly is kept in the main jail, where high-profile cases are housed, on the 8th floor. He was initially in the general population but has since been moved to protective custody due to his status. According to reports, he faces harsh treatment, such as being denied phone access and limited TV time. Prison is truly a tough place, capable of crushing your dreams and career in an instant. Regardless of who you are outside, you must stay in line, especially in a place like Broward County Jail, known for its harsh conditions and inmates struggling with mental health issues. Ex-inmates have described it as filthy, with deputies mistreating and disrespecting inmates. One person commented that no matter what someone has done, they're still human and deserve respect. While the jail's conditions are undeniably bad, some people try to remain pragmatic. One user noted, "It's jail, not the Hilton," sharing their own experience and a moment of kindness from a deputy who helped them with a drink when they felt unwell. Still, others emphasized the mistreatment, like being held for hours after release and only let out in the early hours of the morning.
There are now 5 people in custody who weren't in custody before. 5 people who were alleged to have committed a murder in broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon in the city of Chicago.
Federal agents recently made a major breakthrough, arresting 5 men tied to the August 2022 Los Angeles shooting that claimed the life of Quando Rondo's cousin. The suspects now face conspiracy to murder for hire charges, allegedly in retaliation for King Von's tragic death. The investigation appears to connect these events back to the 2020 Monaco hookah lounge altercation in Atlanta, where King Von lost his life. This connection placed Lil Durk under intense scrutiny, as federal agents suspect he orchestrated the retaliation. Their suspicions were reportedly confirmed through evidence from OTF affiliate Jam, whose wiretap provided crucial information. Once the feds secured their evidence, Lil Durk was hit with what could be one of the most significant setbacks of his career, further entangling him in this devastating saga.
Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. He's there right now. This is his. Yes, Broward. He's in Florida. I got the whole thing on. Look on my stream. I got it. Oh my God, bro.
DG Academics was quick to report Lil Durk's arrest, sharing the news through a video and a tweet. Breaking. Lil Durk has been arrested by US Marshals and held in Broward County Correctional Facility until his extradition to California for his federal charge. His charge is murder for hire for the death of Quando Rondo's cousin. Lil P reports indicate that Lil Durk was taken into custody by US Marshals on Thursday and is currently detained at Broward County Correctional Facility in Florida. The 32-year-old rapper is being held without bail and is awaiting extradition to California to face federal charges. A mugshot of him has since been released. The charges stem from Lil Durk's alleged involvement in a murder for hire plot tied to the 2022 killing of Quando Rondo's cousin, reportedly in retaliation for the 2020 shooting of King Von. Although the recent October 17 federal indictment named 5 OTF associates Cain London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston, Durk's arrest has now linked him to the case. This development marks a critical turn in a case deeply rooted in unresolved feuds and tragic losses.
The charges include conspiracy to murder for hire, committing murder for hire involving a death, and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in death.
The recent developments have painted an intricate picture of the situation surrounding Lil Durk and the alleged activities of OTF. According to the indictment, the case outlines a detailed and calculated plan, implicating alleged OTF affiliates in the tragic 2022 killing of Quando Rondo's cousin. Lil P prosecutors claim the attack was a response to King Von's death in 2020. Tying the incident to gang retaliation, it's alleged that OTF affiliates used a credit card linked to the label to buy plane tickets, traveling from Chicago to California after learning Quando Rondo's location. The indictment portrays OTF not just as a music label but as a criminal enterprise allegedly involved in violent activities under Durk's direction. Prosecutors further assert that Lil Durk ordered the 2022 shooting in retaliation for the murder of his close friend, King Von, during a public feud with Quando Rondo's team. Adding to the intrigue, it's claimed that Lil Durk had plans to flee the country, booking flights to Dubai and Switzerland, as well as a private jet to Italy, before being arrested. As these accusations unfold, the case has drawn significant attention, with implications that could redefine the narratives around Lil Durk and OTF. These events continue to develop, leaving the industry and fans alike awaiting further revelations. The indictment has revealed shocking details about the alleged connection between Lil Durk's OTF label and the tragic events surrounding Quando Rondo's camp. Prosecutors claim OTF affiliates orchestrated a murder for hire plot to target Quando Rondo, referred to as TB, and that bounties were placed on individuals marked for retaliation. These bounties allegedly offered money or music opportunities within OTF. The plot reportedly involved using an OTF-linked credit card to purchase plane tickets and book accommodations for the conspirators. The same account was tied to Lil Durk's former manager and his father, further deepening the connection. However, the plan took a devastating turn when the intended target, TB, escaped unharmed, but his cousin, Lil Pap, was tragically killed instead. Details from the indictment state the attack was carried out using 2 vehicles to track TB's location, with 18 shots fired at the vehicle at a Los Angeles gas station. The suspects then regrouped at a restaurant to finalize payment but made a critical error by using the same auth-linked credit card to book flights back to Chicago, further implicating the organization. The case underscores alleged ties between this incident and the 2020 murder of King Von, adding another layer of complexity to the federal investigation into auth. With these developments, the stakes for Lil Durk and his crew have never been higher.
Here it is. It says, the charges mark the latest fallout from the high-profile killing of King Von. They connecting dots.
This situation highlights the deep-rooted conflict between Quando Rondo's crew and Lil Durk's auth. Stemming from the tragic death of King Von in 2020, the altercation led to a wave of tension, and now, with the revealed murder for hire plot, it's clear that the cycle of retaliation continues. It's truly unfortunate that an ego-driven confrontation in 2020 has spiraled into a series of tragic consequences that Lil Durk may have to live with for the rest of his life. It's a classic example of how the mighty fallen empire can crumble when its foundation is built on dangerous actions. In the case of Lil Durk, his rapid rise from being awarded the key to Broadview to being locked up in the same year is a stunning reversal of fortune. It also raises the question, can you really be both a rapper and a gangster? For Durk, the answer seems to be no. Trying to play both roles appears to have led him down a path that could end with him in prison for life, while his empire falls apart. As noted by the FBI, when you get involved in dirty business, the feds are always watching. While you're living your life thinking you're untouchable, they're piecing together the facts to catch you. In the end, if convicted, Durk and the other 5 auth members face life in federal prison. And if Lil Durk, the boss, is gone for life, what's left of auth? Would it survive without him? Or will the crew fall apart in his absence? Rappers often forget that their choices today and the people they associate with can determine their future, both in their careers and personal lives. Lil Durk's plot twist is a stark reminder of this, as he faces the very real possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars due to decisions made in the past.
So, Durk Banks, also known as Lil Durk. It brings me great honor and pleasure as the mayor of the Village of Broadview to present this key. And so on behalf of the Village of Broadview, we are honored to present this key to the city, to Durk Banks, neighborhood hero.
Lil Durk's journey has been marked by both triumph and tragedy. His recent honors, including the keys to the cities of Broadview and Bellwood, were a testament to his positive influence through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. However, his arrest on charges related to a murder for hire plot, stemming from a long-standing feud with Quando Rondo, led to the revocation of these honors and termination of his nonprofit's partnership with Broadview. The mayor emphasized that while the legal system presumes innocence, the community holds its members to higher moral and ethical standards, further tarnishing Durk's reputation. The tragic events that began with the fight between King Von's and Quando Rondo's crews in 2020 have spiraled into a series of legal battles and consequences. For those involved, Lil Durk's career, deeply affected by the murder of King Von, is now under intense scrutiny. His lyrics, allegedly referencing the murder plot and retaliation, are being used as evidence against him in the criminal case. This is not a new practice in the music industry, as artists like Young Thug have faced similar challenges with the use of lyrics in criminal cases. The situation raises questions about the consequences of a life intertwined with gang activity and the long-lasting impact on a rapper's career. If convicted, Durk could face life in prison, which would not only affect his music career but also leave a significant impact on the auth empire. If he manages to get out, he will likely return to a much-changed environment, with many of his day ones behind bars. For now, Durk's upcoming album, Deep Thoughts, has been delayed, leaving fans wondering if his music may have contained the evidence that the feds are using against him. The ongoing legal battles are a stark reminder of the dangers of blending a music career with a criminal lifestyle.